In the heart of New York City, the concert hall was alive with applause as Victor Harrow, 52, took his final bow. A celebrated pianist, known for his flawless technique and commanding presence, Victor was as admired for his music as he was feared for his arrogance. After the performance, the backstage lounge began to fill with wealthy patrons, music critics, and industry elites. But tonight was different. An outreach charity had arranged for ordinary people to attend the show and post-performance gathering. Most guests blended into the shadows, intimidated by the marble floors and expensive suits, but not Clara Jenkins. Clara, 45, a waitress from a neighborhood diner, stood awkwardly by the wall in a simple blue dress. She had won the ticket in a community raffle and had never stepped foot inside a building so grand. While others held wine glasses and chatted in rehearsed sophistication, Clara clutched her purse and stayed silent. She had once loved music deeply, but that part of her life was buried under bills, shifts, and years of surviving. Then, out of nowhere, a man in the crowd joked, "Why don't you let the waitress play something, Victor?" Victor, ever the showman with a sharp tongue, raised an eyebrow. "Why not?" he replied with a sly grin. He turned toward Clara, gesturing dramatically to the grand Steinway behind him. "Would you honor us with a performance, Miss Jenkins?" Laughter rippled through the room, polite but expectant, anticipating a few awkward notes and an easy dismissal. Clara's face flushed. She looked down at her shoes, heart pounding, then to everyone's surprise, she took a slow breath, stepped forward, and walked toward the piano. The crowd shifted uncomfortably, murmuring under their breath. Some prepared to film, expecting something cringeworthy to share later. Clara sat at the piano, ran her fingers lightly over the keys, and paused. Her hands trembled not from fear, but from a flood of memories she had long pushed away. She hadn't played in over 2 decades, not since her mother passed and life pulled her into survival mode. She closed her eyes. The room grew quiet, and as her fingers hovered above the ivory keys, nobody expected what would happen next. Clara sat on the polished piano bench, her hands trembling slightly as she reached out and touched the keys. She paused, eyes closed, letting the room fade into stillness. The laughter, the whispers, the judgment, it all disappeared in that brief moment of silence. Then, with a deep breath, she began to play. Soft, aching notes drifted into the air. It wasn't a flashy piece or anything rehearsed. It was something raw, soulful, something born from memory. Within seconds, the atmosphere shifted. The audience, once amused at her expense, stood frozen, caught in the gravity of something real. Her fingers glided effortlessly, revealing years of buried talent and pain. She wasn't reading sheet music. This was instinct, heart, muscle memory. The melody was simple, almost like a lullaby, but every note carried weight. Victor Harrow, who had played in the greatest concert halls on earth, stood completely still. His expression changed from smug to stunned as he listened. In Clara's music, he heard something he had lost, emotion unfiltered by ego. As she played, her posture relaxed, as if each note released a piece of the life she had hidden away for so long. When the final note faded, silence hung heavy in the room. No one clapped, no one moved. For a full 10 seconds, the entire hall sat in stunned disbelief. Then slowly one person stood, then another, and the room erupted in applause. Not polite, not forced, but genuine. Some were wiping their eyes, others looked embarrassed to have ever doubted her. Victor walked forward, speechless, his voice softer than anyone had ever heard. Where did you learn that?" he asked. Clara looked up, a gentle smile on her face. "My mother taught me. We had an old piano in our trailer. I used to play every night until life got in the way." News of Clara's performance spread like wildfire. Someone had recorded it. The video went viral overnight. Music schools and record labels reached out. Journalists called. She was offered interviews, scholarships, even talk show appearances. But Clara wasn't interested in fame. The next morning she went back to the diner. tied her apron, and started pouring coffee, like always. But something had changed. She didn't need applause. She didn't need headlines. She had reminded the world and herself that music, like truth, doesn't need permission to be powerful.